elaborates more about our team, our experience, and more details about our project. Thank you.
Any questions for the team?
Yes?
Yes, so I saw regarding the hydrology methodology that you guys are using, I saw that you were able to use NOAA as well as some county data sets to kind of determine what your, I guess, your rainfall input to the site would be. Was there any, I guess, county or state provided data that you could have used for elevation information as opposed to
Alexander, Colton, do you have thoughts?
So originally, Cal Poly provided us with a utility maps as well as contour maps too for the general campus as well as this area as well included. The issue was that these contour maps were very blurry and they were not very reliable. So we kind of had to make the grid overlay to kind of compensate for that since they were inaccurate at best, and we tried to remedy that by creating our own kind of handmade sort of contour map too, where we referenced off of.
yeah.
So,
and kudos for the creativity.
of course,
I've
thank you.
never seen that in Google Earth.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a I guess a tip, there is state and county level provider data that you can use free for use with the public. So that's going to be, I think, a lot more convenient for use for delineating watersheds especially. So in addition to that, regarding the specific hydrology methodology that you use to calculate both your runoff flow rate and your volume, is that all per LA County hydrology manual? Okay.
That's correct, yes.
Good to see. And then I know the Lyle Center kind of prides itself on being sort of the very picture of sustainability. Was there any consideration for permeable pavement for that parking lot? That's going to be obviously one of the most
Understood.
sizable contributors.
Right.
overall.
So the parking lot was on purpose created impermeable because we wanted there to be runoff in order to direct into the drainage channel just below it to the south, because we wanted to collect and direct that runoff to the rain garden. Because if it was permeable and there was some sort of shallow infiltration, or even if there was like a liner underneath it, there would be issues with drainage. Even if we had like a French pipe, similar to what we did for the swales, it would be a lot more costly, and we just find it to be more efficient that way to have a gentle slope which still falls within ADA guidelines as well as general accessibility for the parking lot, as well as being able to accommodate all that flow in a sheet form to the drainage ditch. But our bike paths are permeable pavement, so
Right.
yes, we do incorporate some permeable materials for our design and construction.
So you kind of brought it up there as well, as in terms of your conveyance from the parking lot sort of down towards the rain garden. Was there was a drainage ditch through sort of that green space area?
Correct. Well, if we can go back, I guess, to here. Let me see. Okay, sure. I'll show you.
Which line did you want me to go back to?
The parking lot. Almost there.
Oh, this one.
Actually, that one's fine. That's perfect. Okay. May I see the pointer? Okay. So right here, it's a little bit hard to see because I'm trying to incorporate everything for the parking lot as well too. It'll be a drainage ditch that runs directly south, kind of parallel to the parking lot area. So the general slope will go in a southerly direction. It'll collect in this drainage ditch here. It's about, it follows the same NDA or NDS guidelines as the swale as well too. So it's the same design parameters and everything for that. And that will flow from the western portion of our parking lot all the way to the eastern part, and then it drains kind of southeast to the rain garden area.
Right. Actually, go to the next slide as well.
Sure. Oh, sorry. This one?
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
So the runoff, if I'm understanding kind of the concept correctly, you have your runoff from the parking lot being conveyed through an open drainage ditch through the green space. Is the amphitheater itself being used as conveyance as well?
Yeah, so on the north end right here, we were planning to make a little channel that essentially flows along this line right here. We didn't want to include it in the drawing because we thought it cluttered it,
Right.
but we were designing to have one. It also goes alongside a walk path that we were going to add there that goes up the amphitheater.
Cool.
So yes, we're collecting water from the amphitheater, but it's not used as our conveyance.
Right, perfect.
Oh, thank you. I believe you had a question as well?
So this is a really job including our envision certification, but was LEED also considered as far as like qualifying for that?
For Envision and LEED, we just considered Envision because Envision is more on water, as in LEED is more on like building. So we kind of just stuck with Envision as a reading system.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Great job, guys. I was really impressed. But I had a couple questions, and because I look on flood lens a lot when we're talking about this. What happens when you get more than a 25-year storm? And so that's one question. You guys can think about that a little bit. And then the other one is, did you guys provide any way to clean out your under drains on your BMPs or green infrastructure that you proposed?
So to answer the second question,
Yep.
for the drainage, for the NDS and also the drainage ditch that goes to the parking lot, it's actually an NDS channel and it has a grate over top which can be removed and therefore cleaned.
I was thinking more in the rain garden, there's an under drain, and so here, for this example, how do you clean out that perforated pipe? Perforated pipes have a really bad habit of clogging.
I'm just gonna, just from the
Yeah.
cost side, it is included all in our operation and maintenance costs for the first year. So everything included with the rain garden, as well as a lot of similarities to the swale, include a lot of that sediment buildup, a lot of that accumulation. So all of that first year O&M costs includes all of that trash removal regularly. And it's actually it's very small for the rain garden because it is only 2,000 square feet. So there's not a whole lot, but obviously there's gonna be a lot of sediment buildup in that perforated pipe like you mentioned, but it is included in that cost.
Okay, I was more thinking about, just from, not just a cost, but an actual physical way to get in there and clean it out.
What method of which we
Yeah,
emphasize.
so, just a hint for you guys, when you're doing under drains, you gotta be able to get in there and clean them out.
You have to make a bigger pipe, so you can put that, you know.
Yeah, bigger
actually-
pipe, you can do a second pipe in where you can get the back of your truck in to suck all the soils out.
Next it will.
These two. Any questions on this side?
We have one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great presentation, everyone, and good job speaking as well. A few questions. One is regarding the clay soils. Who was the geotech?
Isaac.
Yeah. So you mentioned that there's a lot of clay soils don't infiltrate.
Yes.
And as you read the permit, you know that infiltration is the first on the hierarchy for preferred method of treatment.
Yes.
So if you have clay soils at certain depths, did the geotech investigation check to see if there were more favorable soils at different depths where infiltration could be achievable?
So during our soil survey, we conducted a web soil survey as the site itself. There were some issues regarding like actual going into the site and having an actual soil test, but the soil survey indicated that most of the soil in that site was composed of clay soil, which means that there weren't a lot of options, so we stuck with the ones we chose.
So just something to think about in the future. Sometimes you do a test at a certain depth and you see the first 4 or 5 feet there's clay soils, but if you go 15 or 20 feet, you may have some more favorable soils. The second question was also kind of alongside with maintenance. And as you get into practice, you'll learn that a lot of times the procedures for maintenance can dictate the actual design of how you do your facilities. So one of the, something you can implement for checking the clearance of those subdrains pipes is observation wells. A lot of maintenance entities will require you to put observation wells, basically standpipes or risers every so often to check into those subdrains. And then I noticed in the picture, I know it's just an illustration, but the subdrain looks like it's flat. At the very bottom of the perforated pipe. Is that designed to be flat or is it designed to have some grade to it?
Yeah, we actually, it's just flat to show the section view, but in our actual design, we're gonna have about a 5 to 10 slope depending on the location, and that pipe will go along that slope along the grade.
Okay, so that's something when you're in design, you'll wanna check, because if you have a very long, rain garden or a very long, swale, your subdrain could actually come out from the ground if the slope is steeper than the, finished grade. And then the third question that I had was on the cost estimating side. I didn't hear what the engineering cost or the design cost. I saw a percentage.
Yes.
And I was most curious as to what your fee is.
It did come in at 5.8%, unfortunately due to just the breakdown of the visual representation, you can't see the dollar amount, but it was very low, which is surprising. But the engineering costs, as well as the construction management, all the admin and legal, making sure we don't get sued, obviously, is all included in there.
All right, thank you everyone. Thank you for the team.